Right, so let's have a look how we go about creating a life policy. So if we go to the console over here and we go to stack management, we have our indexes over here. And you can see we've got 12 sets of them over here. And so now the question is this the only way we can see the indexes that are on the system? The answer is no. So if we log into our pod here, there's our login pods. So we want to go into Cabana. So there we go into Cabana. And then over here, we have a URL, which we can look at indices that we have. So these are the indices that we have. So here we have up to 19, which is today. And we have, well, here are some from 2022, in fact, which haven't been deleted or whatever. And then we have these ones all over here. So what we can do is we can do a grep on a log stash, and then just do a count. So we have 114 of these indices on here. So what we'd like to do is only keep 60 days worth of these indices on the system. Right, so let's go back over here. So in order to do that, we have to create an index life policy. I have been looking up other people. Here you can have a look at this one. And he was the best example. This guy's got a number of. So yeah, if you go and have a look at this, and he'll tell you how to do how to manage the index lifecycle management log stash. So for us, let's go to this one over here. So over here we have logs, but we're not going to use this one. We're going to create our own new index life policy. So how do we do that? Well, first of all, I'm going to copy one that I've got over here. So that's the name of the index life policy, log stash. I thought it would be keep it simple in that we want to manage the log session. So we create a policy, and that's what we're going to call it. Now, with this policy in place, we can move these indexes through a number of phases. So we can go from a hot phase to a warm phase to a cold phase, and then you save the policy. But each one of these phases would have to be set up. The documentation also says that you need one cluster for the hot phase, and then you roll it over into a warm phase. And then when it's finished in the warm phase, you then roll it over into the cold phase. And then you can eventually delete it. But before deleting it, you can put it into a snapshot, and you can keep that as your cold phase, if you like. And then we still have to go through the process of how we bring it back. So what we want to do is simply have a hot phase, and then we want to delete it, because ours is a fairly simple installation. So here's the rollover. So obviously we're not going to roll over to warm phase or anything. So we take that off. And then it says, if you're going to have a rollover, how much you're going to roll over and how many days you're going to keep it. So we're not even going to do that. We're just going to take it off. But now we haven't got a delete phase here. So what you do is you actually delete the bin over here. And when you delete the bin, it comes up here and it says, there's a delete phase. And so this delete phase, we're going to say Let's, in this case here, we're going to keep it at 90 days. And we can go look at the advanced setting here. And then, right, so there's the advanced setting. And this index has got a priority of 100. Right, so we just save this policy. Fairly simple. Here you can see wait for snapshot policy, but we're not going to have a look at that. So let's just go back there and have a look at it. So if you wanted to change your mind, and here you can see you can have a snapshot policy. So you'd have to set up a snapshot policy here, and that's another whole story. So we're not going to do that over here. Okay, so now we have that policy. So now we have this index management. So these are the indexes that we want to manage. But in order to do that, we need to have an index template. So if we go over here, we're going to here, the index template. So we have this index template over here. So this is what we're going to do. So we're going to copy that. We're going to go back to this one. And we're going to create a template. And we're going to call it, and this thing doesn't like spaces, so we're going to do that. And it says, okay, what's your index pattern? So we know it's going to be log at asterisk, okay, which is what we saw over here, log stash asterisk. And now you must, it says, do you want to create a stream, meta field? I really don't know what these are all about, so I'm not going to fill them in. The next phase is here, you can take some of these things and put them in here. I'm not too sure what they all do. But see, here's a data stream mapping or log mapping. You could put that in. But I'm not going to put them in because I don't really know what they do. So the next thing. So now this is index setting, but it's blank. And this one seems to be important. So let's go and have a look at this one. So here's, so we're going to look at it. And it says we can edit it. And then we can go to the next. So I'm going to templates there. Right, so now we have some settings over here. So this is the index lifecycle policy that is going to be used, log stash. So what we do is we copy this over here, copy, and I wasn't so bright. This I got from that other fellow over here, Ali Yunus, and I found it on another source. That this is what all you have to do for the index mapping. It sort of makes sense. Yeah, you can have, this is the name of that in template that we created, and this is the rollover alias, the log stash, which is an index lifecycle policy. And then we say next, mapping. They tell me that that is a course and a discussion for another day. So we'll forget that one. And the alias, yeah, I'm not too sure about the alias, so we'll just leave that as well. So now we just create a template. And this is what we've got over here. This is our template. We could manage it if we wanted to change it. So there we go. Now, once we've done that, now you can see already I've made a mistake. For some reason, I have misspelled it. So let's go back here, go here. That's log dash asterisk. And let's just check over here. Log stash asterisk. That is log stash asterisk. Right. So now we go again. Go again. And then we've got that index setting, which is optional. And then we go again. the alias, and then we save the template. This time I think I've spelled it correctly. So there we have it. Now go to the indices, and so just by the way, what we can also do before we go to the indices, we can go to the dev tools, and we can say, I want to have a look at this policy that I've created. So this is a policy that I've created. Maybe we should copy it. And then maybe we should, we've got a log of what we're doing on the system. So we'll create it over here. Right, and then we can compare it against, oh, I have one over here. Don't think I have it over here. Anyway, so right, we can compare it to someone else if we want to. And then while we're at it, let's just see if our cluster is healthy before we start anything else. Oops, said it didn't want to connect to this backend. Okay, so there you can see with the number of nodes, data nodes, number of active shards, the primary shards, and then we've got some other 340 active shards. And then at the moment, we haven't got any shards that have been relocated, so it's a fairly stable system. All right, so now we'll go back to here. We'll go back to our stacker management. And then we go to index management. And now comes the boring part. You now have to go through each one of these. And I guess there's also an API that we could do these to, but this is the only way so far that I found to apply this policy to each one of these indices. So there it says, okay, there's your Logstash lifecycle policy has been applied to that particular shard. Okay, so thank you for watching. And the only way we're going to find out if this works is you've got to let this run for a number of hours, and then we're going to see if it will reduce the number here. But I'll probably have to put that in another video. So thank you very much.